guys, it's me Lucy here. It's summer. Are you guys out enjoying the sun? I'm kind of annoyed because we had an accident with our grass and these people messed it up, so we've had to have our grass regrown, like replanted so it can grow out again. So we can't actually go on the grass, so I can't get to the deck in our garden, so I can't sunbathe in my garden. Which really sucks. And I would be because the weather's been really good right now in our country in England. It's been like 20 degrees, which is about how hot it is I would need it to be for me to sunbathe in our own country. Of course I prefer hotter places. Anyway, let's get straight to it. I was just going to go straight to the Tesco, to the shop, just to get some things, but I thought I'd do this first, so I am here. So it's been a while since I've done a video, so I just want to get straight to it, because the last video I put up, I just checked when it was. Well, not last video, the last video of this series, what we call it, my book wrap up, which was February, and now we're in May, aren't we? So I'm going to do the videos catching up to the months that I've missed, except for the month we're currently doing, so I'm still probably going to read some more books, and yeah, so hope you're enjoying the summer, and let's get straight to it. So, this is March 2016. On the 1st of March 2016, I read the book Billionaire's Game, Cade, The Billionaire Obsession, book 4 by J.S. Scott, and I gave it 3 out of 5. I read all these kind of, the whole series pretty much, sort of. These aren't in order, as you can tell. On the same day, I read Billionaire Undone, Travis, The Billionaire's Obsession by J.S. Scott, and I gave it 4 out of 5. On the same day, oh my god, I read 3 books in one go. Billionaire Unmasked, Jason, The Billionaire Obsession, book 6 by J.S. Scott, and I gave that 3 out of 5. Okay, 2 days later, on the 3rd of March 2016, I read Billionaire Untamed by Tate, The Billionaire Obsession by J.S. Scott, and I gave it 3 out of 5. On the same day, I read The Billionaire Unbound, Chloe, The Billionaire's Obsession, book 8 by J.S. Scott, I gave it 3 out of 5. And then on the 20th of March, there's been a bit of a break there, so I'm still at school at this point. Things have slightly changed, I'll tell you at the end of the video. And then the next one was on the 20th of March 2016. This is a different book series now. This one was called Wicked White, the Wicked White book series, book 1 by Michelle A. Valentine, and I gave it 1 out of 5. I say this a few times about some books. The book, you know, that the description, how they describe what the book's basically about, actually telling you, so it makes you want to read it. I was like, that book sounds really good. It's about a boy who's a singer in a band, and he like runs away and goes undercover, just not as a spy or anything. He's just like hiding away, trying to not be who he is. And he meets this girl who lives nearby, because she like seems to like. She like owns the places. It's like sort of like a campsite sort of thing where she has a house and you can rent them out, and her grandma's died or something, so she's taking it over, and she doesn't know who he is because his hair's like growing out and stuff, and they end up falling in love. But it just really pissed me off. There was slightly parts I liked about it. The beginning part was quite good, but when it got to like the middle bit where like he ended up leaving because she like said something that she didn't mean, but she just said it to make him leave, and he thought she really meant it, and then she tried calling him and stuff to get his attention. He went on telly to try and get his attention, he just wouldn't listen to her. And then even when he like finally got his ass out of his head and like finally went to go see her after a long time after, which by then I would have moved on and be like, fuck you, you know, you haven't come to see me for like 3 months or something, it's obvious you don't want to see me. Even though she didn't do anything wrong, I would have just been like, this dude, you know, if that was me in real life, I wouldn't have like been like, oh yeah, I still love you, or just been like giving up on him. Like, you just left me hanging for 3 months, you know, you should just let me call you and explain things, you know. Don't piss you off. And then even when he went to like go and find her, he assumed something that he saw and it wasn't real, and then he like walked away again, and then he finally went back to her again, and it was like, it felt like it was basically like a year after, and she was still like kind of hanging on to him even though she was like trying to move on, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm done with her. Even though they got back together really in the end, so I kind of have to spoil it, but I just don't think that book was good. So I hate that. There's some book series that I just really think they sound so good, and I sometimes get a bit ambitious and I end up buying like the whole set of the book series, and I'm like, I'm going to love it, so I'm going to buy all the books, and then end up reading 1 or 2 and I'm like, oh, I hate it, and I just wasted money on these books. So I've tried now to just buy 1 book at a time, which I've done just now. So I bought a new book series that I saw a while ago, but I thought there's other stuff I'd rather read. I think I'll come back to it. It sounds really good, so I'm not sure if I like it or not, but I don't want to get my hopes up, so I just bought the first book, and I've got a bit more to tell you about how I've changed my book stuff, so I'll tell you that after. That was that, Wicked White anyway. And then on the 24th of March, so 4 days later, I read The Billionaire's Touch, the Sinclair's book 3 by J.S. Scott, and I gave it 2 out of 5. Okay, this is the same author, it's a different series, but it's not. It's where it's in the same world of like men who are billionaires and there's a girl, so it's kind of that same series, but it's like it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like, what's called The Mortal Instruments. I'm sure you guys know, have heard of it, the TV show, the movie, or the books. It's very popular, it's a really good book series. But the author herself has done another book series, hasn't she, where it's in the same world where all the stuff exists, but it's different people. And that's what it's kind of about. The Billionaires, like, Accession is like the first series, and it's just about, you know, billionaires who fall in love with this girl and they have a love story. They're all different. But a lot of them they're all like brothers. Like all the billionaires are like brothers in the Accession series. So you have the first brother's story, and he falls in love with a girl, and then the girl he fell in love with, her best friend actually used to knew the older brothers billionaire, and they had a past, and then they found each other again. So it's all connected. And then the billionaires Sinclair they're like cousins. They're in the same world where all the same people exist, but they live in a different town. In this world that the author's created. So that, like, when they have weddings, because you know it's a love story, so a lot of them get married, all those people from the Billionaires Accession all come over to the Sinclairs, and even some of the Sinclairs were mentioned in the Obsession book, obviously because the author was already knew that she was going to bring them into that world. So it doesn't matter which book you read, you don't have to read them in order. I didn't. I just read, there's one book of that series, the Accession, the Billionaire's Accession, book 4, that I didn't want to read because it was about a man who lost his wife and he has to try and move on. And I don't really like those kind of love stories. I have read some, I don't think it's my #1 pick. It depends how it's written. I don't like it when you read a love story about someone who's lost someone they love. That's okay, but I don't like it when they kind of make that love greater than the new love that they're going to find. You know, like they're basically saying, you can't replace my wife, which I understand in real life, but for a book and it's a romance, you're trying to make the romance between these two characters real, not between. That's why I don't really like love triangles either. They just really annoy me. I've been in a love triangle in real life before, not me, but two men in love with me, and it was a very funny, awkward year that was, and they were all in the same class. But it was just a nightmare. It's not nice. It sounds fun when you read the book, but if it happens to you in real life, I'm sure you guys know that it's not that fun. It might feel nice sometimes. Oh, I got 2 guys or 3 guys, or they even be like saying that they love me, but it's not. You know, I don't like hurting people. I'm a very honest person, so I don't lead guys on. I'm just like, you know, this is how it is. I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm gonna just tell you I don't feel that way about you. If I did, I'll be like, I do. I really like you, but. You know, I'm a very honest person. I don't like leaving guys on. I'd rather them go and find someone else who they could be happy with. But sometimes they hate you, even though you're trying to do the right thing for them. But anyway, let's not talk about my personal life, but just trying to explain that. And then, after the end of March, it goes on to April then. So how many books did I read in May? Should we have a look? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books.